Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary, this is Fade In with Michael Keneal. I am your host, Michael Keneal. Welcome for our second episode here, a special coming-of-age episode. That's just what I'm calling it right now. But first, let me introduce everyone in the room. To my right, I have my assistant here, Chris Shinkanete. Chris, say hi.
Hey, everybody.
Get closer.
Hey, everybody.
There you go. Hey, he's my buddy, and he's here to help me and make sure that I finish within a normal time, kind of like a girlfriend. But today I'm joined with my guests, the Miami Color Bay Zone.
Color Bay Zone.
Director.
Color Bay Zone.
Director and filmmaker of the film Fallen Fruit that was premiered at the Miami Film Festival and did really good and then went to other cities as well. Say hello, everyone, to Chris Molina.
Hello, Chris Molina.
There you go. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for coming, dude. I'm really excited to have you here. So, Chris, you're a filmmaker. You're also an improviser. You're a couple of other things, nearsighted or farsighted based on your glasses.
Far.
Far?
Wait, far means that you can't see far.
Yeah.
Chris, let's get a Google on that.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, pull that. Chris is my Jamie, but this is a safer show. Or at least I try to make it.
Is that a Joe Rogan thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his guy. That he's like Google things for me, and
Right.
he Googles government lies. And he just tells him he's like, oh, something about QAnon.
We asked Jeeves the truth on our show.
Ask Jeeves. You go to that website and it's like, oh my god, I'm so glad you're here. No one's been here since '98. But yeah, Chris Molina, filmmaker, improviser. Really glad to have you here, man. So how have you been? How are you currently handling your post film premiere and touring?
Oh, what a loaded question. You know, the fame, the fortune, the money, the drugs, the sex, the butthole. It's a lot. It's a lot to carry for one man, but I'm handling it well, I think. I mean, I'm on Jolt Radio for crying out loud.
Yeah, there we go.
So.
Yeah. Shout out to Jolt Radio. Without them, I would be in my apartment. So jerking off in front of my friends. But yeah, man. So I brought you in because I myself have just been a fan of films forever, since I was a little kid, and I just wanted to know when was that moment that it clicked for you as a little kid or an adult, where you were just like, you know what, films are my thing.
Good question. I feel like the easy access to Disney Channel original movies was probably it. Getting like a Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, and then Quince, and I'm not gonna name them all. I could.
Is Quince okay? This is where like our age is gonna show. Quince, is that like quintuplet twins? What's happening in that title?
That's an old one.
Is it?
You should know. Quince.
I know like Halloween Town, and fucking.
It's the same. It's the same girl. It's the same woman.
The same Halloween Town girl.
Yeah.
All right.
Kimberly J. Brown.
Oh, is that
You don't
her?
even need to Google it. I know.
He knows. We don't need to Google that one. No, I can't remember. But as far as Disney Channel original movies, for me it was like The Luck of the Irish, Halloween Town. There was one about the Shaggy Dog. I think it was just called the Shaggy Dog.
Well, there's
They
original,
didn't-
and then they remade that one.
And then right,
But
and
they
then there
didn't
was.
have a decom of the Shaggy Dog. Sorry.
Did you say a what?
They didn't have a decom Disney Channel original movie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't even know what a decom is?
No, I don't. I don't know what it is. No, I'm sorry. See, I
Okay.
can't.
You know what? Let's scratch the two movies that I gave you. This is the welcome back to Fade In. We're gonna be talking decoms today.
The Disney Channel original movies. I don't know. There was one about rollerblading.
Brink.
That one was cool.
Try another one.
What about? I know the answer to this one. Okay. What about the one where they go bowling?
Alley Cat Strike Back.
Yes.
Is it
that
Strike Back? It's not Strike.
No, it Strikes Back. He's
Strikes
correct.
Back.
All right. Well, I'm glad I'm in charge here. I don't know a goddamn thing. Yeah, those were cool movies, man. So really, is that what it was? You were just watching those kind of Disney Channel movies, and that's
Yeah, I mean they were on every night at 8, 7 Central, so it was just a constant. The 7 Central was really important to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Central Time was, but I knew it was important. Yeah, easy access to those movies was the gateway, and then And then Disney Channel having like movie surfers where they would do behind the scenes of different like it was all Disney propaganda, but it was the kind of stuff that helped me see what behind the scenes of a movie was like, and that it could be a career, and that I could make movies. Yeah.
For me, watching the behind the scenes on like DVD bonuses, that was huge. I love doing that so much. Were you one of those people that you were like?
Yeah, I used to love a behind the scenes. Monsters Inc. behind the scenes was my shit.
Yeah.
Same with Finding Nemo. The worst part, looking back on the behind the scenes videos of Monsters Inc. Did you ever watch? Do you know who John Lasseter is? No, he was.
Google John Lasseter real quick.
Well, don't Google John Lasseter because it'll spoil the story.
All right, go on incognito mode.
So at Pixar, they used to have. There was this thing where they would show off. They would give a tour of Pixar, and they would show the different rooms. And there was this one room they had in one animator studio called the Love Shack or something like that.
Okay.
And it was inside. It was like behind an air vent, and inside it was kind of just like this like 70s sex den where it was like shag carpet and dice and like a disco ball and all this stuff.
Everything you need to make a child's movie.
Right, exactly. And then it turns out years later, it was around the production of like Toy Story 4 that this came out, that John Lasseter was like allegedly touching, made women uncomfortable.
Okay, I know him through that story. I guess.
Yeah, and ruined Hawaiian shirts for all
He was
bigger
the
men
Hawaiian
everywhere.
shirt guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
he wore the coat. And we now understand where the character Buzz Lightyear came from.
Shut up.
those behind the scenes, and this is where I'm going to date myself. There used to be like on TV. Sometimes it would just be randomly on. You'd catch it. It would be like the making of, and I would watch the making of Jurassic Park. That was a huge one in the '90s as a kid. And the making of, I mean, such and such. There was Discovery Channel had a TV show called Movie Magic, and I believe you can watch the whole series for free on YouTube right now. But they would just do that behind the scenes of special effects. I was really into like creature design and creature stuff. Even though now as an adult, I'm like whatever about that. I care more about the drama. But the fucking creature effects I was just really into all that stuff, camera trickery, and blocking, and man, that got me into it. What after the what'd you fucking call it? Dromcom,
Decoms.
Jesus Christ, all right, decoms. But after decoms, what film kind of like inspired you to maybe get a little bit more personal? Because those movies are great, but they're very kind of like learn a lesson. What about like more complex films?
Yeah, good question. It was probably once I started. Oh, you know what it was? The movie that like made me be like, oh, okay, actually, movies can be a little different. They could be serious. Is Moulin Rouge.
That's a fucking different movie. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's super fast paced and like overacted, so it is like a Disney Channel movie.
It's the evolution.
Right. It was an easy gateway.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That was an intense. Do you remember how old were you when that movie came out?
I mean, that came out, 2002, 2001?
Something like that.
So I was probably like 6 or 7, but I didn't watch it until I was 15.
Oh, it was
2001.
2001. It was the height of the Christina Aguilera and everyone else in that music video.
And all those.
Yeah. And that was a huge one. So are you more like on your days off and you're like, I want to watch something. Do you watch something a little bit more, I'm going to call it elaborate? That? Is that more your thing?
Wait, days off like now? Right now?
Just now, because all of the movies that you've selected and your film Fallen Fruit, which we're going to get into, are more like grounded dramas. So I'm trying to figure, I guess, that
No,
out.
if I'm choosing to watch a movie, I'm probably not watching. I'm probably catching up on Real Housewives of Potomac or Miami. That's probably my go-to.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming no one here knows much about. But my other if I'm gonna watch a movie, I've been trying to get into more like classic stuff.
What's a movie? What's an absolute classic that you'd feel embarrassed to sharing that you've never seen?
Oh God. Fuck. Well, name them. Name a movie.
Okay. Name 3 movies.
Name 3 movies.
Okay, we got
What's Rose?
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. I've never seen.
You've never seen Citizen Kane?
Never seen Citizen Kane.
That's always the best one to start.
That was the first one I was going to say.
Never seen Citizen Kane.
It's good. Citizen Kane is one of those like film school movies that you watch and you're like, oh, this feels like a film school lesson while I'm watching this.
But another one like that. Have you watched Run Lola Run?
No. Are you saying Citizen Kane's like Run Lola Run?
No, it's another one of those artsy. Like when you go to film school, they're like, watch Run Lola. You have to watch.
Do
this
they?
movie. I had a film class, and the guy was obsessed with that movie.
What school was this at?
Obviously, in Miami-Dade.
Shout out to Miami-Dade Community College at the time.
Woo! And yeah, he felt that was probably one of the best pieces of cinema he's ever seen. It's not a bad movie, not at all, but I don't know if it's the best piece of cinema I've ever seen in my life, but
She's running.
she does. She does
running.
run, yeah. She got great shoes. They look like Asics.
All right, what was the last movie you caught in theaters, Chris?
Last movie I caught in theaters was yesterday. I went to go see Jaws, the Jaws re-release on IMAX.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Okay, had you seen Jaws before?
I'd seen Jaws before, but you know, like in my room. It was probably during the pandemic that I watched it. I was able to just like go on Twitter, like zone out.
Yeah.
But when you're watching Quinn, you know, like give his monologue in IMAX, you have no choice but to sit there and be like, "What the fuck is this guy saying?"
I can smell his breath.
I can smell his breath from here. I hate it.
shark's eyes roll over white. The doll's eyes.
No idea what that man said.
He delivered that scene. He got drunk as fuck for that scene.
Oh.
Sebastian. That's not him. Robert Shaw is his name. I was gonna say Sebastian Stan or something.
Yeah, I was like, who
I don't know
are you
what's going
throwing
on
under
with
the
me,
bus?
guys. I'm in charge. Shut up. Yeah, Robert Shaw. He was a Bond villain and stuff like that. He delivered that monologue drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
To the point where the entire production had to be shut down for the day, and he had to come back, and he was embarrassed. And I'm sorry, Mr. Spielberg, and he had to do it again.
Well, and then the take that they used was the drunk one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can just smell him in that entire movie. I love Jaws. Jaws was another one of those making of movies that I watched. A lot of Spielberg stuff during that time. But what'd you think of Jaws? You like Jaws? Is that like, you think it's overhyped? Because that's one of those classics.
I mean, yeah, Jaws is good.
I'm curious, do you feel seeing it in a much grander kind of like presentation, did it add to the film for you?
Yeah. I
Okay.
would say it did.
Because I
would say
feel
it
like
did.
those are the type of movies like with a movie theater or a drive-in, like it's good for.
I would imagine the scenes where the ship is out in the actual ocean, probably like it's like that hopeless isolation feel. That probably translates a lot
Man in
better.
the sea.
I felt myself getting seasick.
Yeah.
It was yeah. I was like, this is real. This is the movie. This
That's
is.
Steven Spielberg. What a talent! Making you throw up in the theaters.
Okay, so the films you selected, sir, they were Boyhood and Call Me by Your Name.
Comedy classics.
Yeah, absolute classics. From fucking Disney, from DCOM movies to Moulin Rouge to
Would you
this.
consider this a comedy show?
This show?
Yeah.
I did.
You're funny. You're funny.
Yeah.
I'm funny.
Yeah, a comedy, but then we're gonna have that like funny people moment where everyone cries at one point. Yeah, I'd consider it fun.
Okay. Because you did hand me a drink when I walked in.
I did, yeah. That's how we prepare. Like I'm surrounded by several vices as we speak, and that's how we. And we're gonna talk
Here, let me
about. Yeah, we're gonna talk about movies.
I need everybody to feel as home as they can. Okay.
Right.
Okay, let me take my pants
I
off.
just need someone to have a really loud argument in the other room, and then I will feel.
Mom, Dad.
Yeah, I'll feel right at home.
Somebody hit the Wilhelm scream.
All right, so yeah, Boyhood. So I had never seen Boyhood until now. That was one of those like films where I was just like, oh, I gotta watch this because of like the project that it was. And then Call Me by Your Name I saw when it came out, and I'm just curious. So like, what about why'd you pick those movies?
Yeah. I think the movies that I make are coming of age type movies. At least the one movie that I've made, and then the short films that I've made are coming of age type movies. That's just what attracts me, and I guess that's the kinds of movies that I really feel drawn to when I go to a movie theater. That I feel have a special place in my heart.
I have a soft spot for coming of age movies as well. Like I like a lot of them. You ever watch Freaks and Geeks?
I watched the first episode.
The first episode. It's a great pilot. I think it's a really good
it's a
pilot.
great pilot.
I love that shit. You should definitely check that out. That got canceled like everything else on Fox, but like that.
Everyone's getting canceled on Fox these days.
You can't do anything. You can't even talk about being confused as an adolescent. But yeah, that I think Dazed and Confused is a great coming of age movie.
Oh, yeah. Linklater's my favorite.
Yeah, those are classics. I think with coming of age movies, you have that like the innocence of you dealing with something that could be like provocative or life, and then it's just how you come out the other end. are you going to come out a good person or a bad person? In a very basic kind of reductive kind of way. And for Call Me by Your Name, that was one where that was one of those movies where I didn't want to watch it because Oscar.
Because it was gay.
No, it was because
Michael's famously homophobic.
Yeah.
Well, it's out now.
It's out now.
It's out. It's out.
And now we can go the rest of the episode just knowing that Michael is kicking me under the desk.
I can finally unbuckle my pants. Thank God.
Yeah. But then I'm gonna like sob and ask for a hug afterwards. No, I didn't want to see it because it was one of those like Oscar movies where everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's so fucking," you know. And I'm like, I'm not gonna watch any of these fucking Oscar movies. And then finally, I sat down and watched it, and I was like bawling by the end of it. Like it just really kind of, I don't know. I just thought it was a fucking great movie. Too bad Armie Hammer became a cannibal and all that shit. But
it happens to the best of us.
yeah, but I was a huge fan of it. So what about that movie? Kind of like what about that movie reflects your own personal life, if at all?
Well, I grew up in the North Italy section of Europe. No, fancy. When I first saw it, I didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just because I think I felt like there was no real like plot to it or stakes to it. It was kind of just like a vibey sort of thing. But I think I've grown to appreciate that and kind of replicate that in my own stuff. Yeah, I think I now I prefer a movie that's just vibes, just straight vibes, and not so much sticking to a. I mean, I love E.T., I love Titanic, I love like movies that stick to like the 3-act structure and all that. But like, sometimes you just want to vibe, and cry.
Right. I've heard that those movies be referred to as a hangout movie.
Yeah,
like Dazed and Confused and stuff like that. And yeah, I've also been because you don't necessarily get a what's the term? You don't get like a conclusion really. It's just kind of things are left open, and that's kind of what life is, especially like at the end of a relationship. It's like you want conclusion, and people always say, "I want closure. Let's talk one more time and get closure." And like doesn't. I don't know. To me, it doesn't really exist.
Let's say, hey, don't do closure, guys. I'm looking in the camera. Don't do closure. You don't need that. Okay, we can keep going.
I couldn't agree more. We don't need every single question answered. I want the parking lot conversation when you walk out of that movie. And be like, I think it was God the whole time at the very end. You know what I mean? That voice was a silly person. Okay? Yeah. All right.
I don't know why he keeps making fun of me like that. it's
And then Boyhood. Boyhood was like the most annoying project. Like, why would you do that to yourself as a filmmaker? Why would you tackle on that fucking project?
Yeah,
right?
I can't. Well, I don't know. It's one short film, basically once a year for 12 years.
Yeah,
and the funding is guaranteed. I guess the most annoying part is the fear that people will like back out and not be down the next year. But I also assume that they're locked into some hefty contract.
They would have to be. Yeah, the whole time I was, and this is how morbid my mind is. I'm like, what if someone tragically dies in like a
What if someone dies?
Patricia Arquette flies off of a helicopter or something like that.
God rest her soul.
She's my favorite person in that, and I love Patricia Arquette.
That last monologue.
She is so fucking talented and underutilized in my opinion in films. I saw her in it was like a Hulu original about fucking Gypsy Rose. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, I didn't see it, but I know Gypsy Rose.
Right, yeah. I watched the interrogation video at work one time. This was my old job, in case anyone's watching. And I watched like an hour and a half interrogation video of Gypsy Rose and like her boyfriend. And then I fucking get home and I'm like telling my girlfriend at the time, I was like, this story was crazy. And she's like, oh, this show on Hulu? I'm like, there's a fucking. So I was just like, I lived in that for like 3 days. But yeah, Patricia Arquette completely steals the show in that. But we're talking about Boyhood.
Which also features Patricia Arquette, also playing a mother who's going through it.
Yeah.
I believe she won an award.
She won Best Supporting Actress.
Academy Award for this.
Yeah, she won most drunken boyfriends in film.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
It's sincerely sad.
The sad part.
Yeah. The Act, I believe that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
From the Hulu show, The Act.
Was it called The Act?
The Act.
Gypsy Rose?
Yeah, it's called The
They
Act.
should have just called it Gypsy Rose. Return of Gypsy Rose or Origins.
Gypsy Rosapalooza.
Yeah.
This is why you're not there, boss.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she's great. Ethan Hawke is also, I'm like the fun dad.
Yeah.
And the kids associate me with fun time.
But he smoked cigarettes.
But he smokes cigarette and he's got a fucking cool car, and cool cars are bad dads.
But then he gets rid of the car.
He does, and that's how
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry, we're spoiling.
He became a man.
We're spoiling it. Yeah, we're spoiling a 2 hour and 45-minute movie. Half the people listening to this are okay with it.
It took the guy 12 years to film it, right?
No, it's a crazy feat.
12 years a slave.
There it is.
Okay.
A slave to the movies.
To the movie industry. That's what we're discussing here. We're not. Well, now it's out. Chris Molina is.
Chris Molina equates slavery to the film industry.
Fade in with problematic men. 4 o'clock Sundays.
I mean, both your guests now have been white guys with mustache. Well, I'm Latino, but I'm white. With mustaches from Cutler Bay.
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
It's my fetish. It's just, I don't know.
We have a trend going.
Yeah. The next guest is going to be the entire fire department of Cutler Bay.
Station 18. Here we go.
Next episode is going to be shot live from the bar at Rodbender's.
Dude, I used to fucking date one of the waitresses there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
My dad's there right now watching the game.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I wonder if it's
probably hitting on that waitress.
No, hey. My dad's a respectable man. Let's chill.
Yeah. No. My ex went on to. I have a joke about her. I'm not gonna say it now, but I've said it on stage multiple times. She ended up marrying a man with the U.S. Constitution tattooed on his back. So.
That's a real American.
I know, dude.
How's he gonna read it?
She reads it for him while she's begging him.
It's for the ones around him to remind them of their rights.
Anyways, Boyhood was a 12-year project.
Yep.
And I think, but honestly, I do want to, I know we're joking around a lot, but I do want to point out my favorite thing about that movie was how the passage of time was kind of depicted. That was absolutely my favorite part. How you go from a scene where one alcoholic dad makes him shave his head, and then we kind of blend and cut into another scene where he has his hair long again, and that's how they've established a passage of time. Still drunk dads, but he let his hair grow, and that was probably my favorite. I feel like that was the point of that movie, was to capture how time is always moving forward, but it always happens all at once. It's like a weird dream-like depiction.
Well, I think that's the end of the movie. Is the what's the quote?
When he's sitting on the rocks.
He's sitting on the rocks, and it's like time happens to us. Let's get a Google on that.
Yeah. I'm getting it.
It's like time happens to us, or we're gonna get a Google on this real quick. And
then first ad lib it from memory. I want to hear it. How does it go?
Time happens to us as long as we have enough drunk stepdads to throw us around the room.
And chuck a glass at me. During dinner time.
I was watching a special features thing this morning to refresh on Boyhood, and the kid, Eller Coltrane, who plays the kid, was talking about it. He was like, it was scary to get a glass thrown at my head.
When I saw, I was like, is that a real? Did that actor just go like Leo DiCaprio? I'm gonna rub my blood on your face,
I'm just gonna throw a glass at a kid's head today.
At a child.
Is it the one the moment is constant? The moment seizes us.
The moment seizes us.
Damn.
The moment seizes us.
It really do.
The internet seems to feel it's kind of him saying like a carpe diem.
Yeah. You can't seize the moment seizes us.
Yeah. That was Boyhood.
That was Boyhood there.
That was Boyhood. But yeah, no, I really liked it. I'm glad that you finally pressured me against my will to watch that movie. Yeah, it was really good.
The first time I watched it at AMC at Sunset Place, and
nice shout out to AMC.
AMC at Sunset Place, rest in peace, pretty soon. And I was alone. It was my birthday, and I was moving to Orlando a week later.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this now. Were you okay?
No.
Okay.
No, I wasn't.
Someone should have asked.
Someone should have asked.
Right.
Mom, if you're watching this, it's your fault.
I love going to the movies by myself. Do you do that yourself?
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman style. No, I don't jack off in the theaters, but I do go by myself often. I do that often.
I actually love going to the movies by myself because I'm very punctual, and I usually show up.
And you come right on time.
No pun intended.
I'm very punctual, and I like to I like hotbox my car right before. And I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm like that. When I'm like violently under the influence of Herbalife, and I walk in there, and I just like sit there and I just fucking watch. Sometimes you get a panic attack during the movie. I think Dune Part 2, I got like a mini panic attack watching it by myself in the theaters. But
well, you know what happened to me once?
What?
I did what you do when you go to the AMC.
Bring a raincoat.
Some galoshes.
No, I smoked some weed. Okay, I did do that.
Oh my god!
And
now everybody knows.
Everyone knows. And I was gonna go see Haunted Mansion, the remake, the new Disney one. And I was driving up the parking garage, and it just turns and turns and turns. And by the time I got to the top, I was so anxious and so scared. I just sat in my car and called my sister for an hour because I was so scared I couldn't leave the car. And since then, I've never seen Haunted Mansion.
You probably didn't miss much.
I probably didn't.
But yeah, man, that's getting someone going to the movies is probably my favorite pastime. It's something that I'm trying to do, and I'll invite you next time we go because we've been going more to the movies and just kind of watching random stuff.
Yeah, I'd love a Toxic Avenger would be a fun one to be stoned at.
I would, yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely gonna go support that fucking film.
You know what I watched stoned the other day though, which was not fun? Final Destination Bloodlines. That was scary.
I haven't seen a Final Destination since I think 2 or 3.
Hey, don't.
The last one ties them all together for you.
Do I need? Do I need that clarity?
No, I'd never seen a Final Destination movie.
Oh, it's a fun concept for a movie.
It is fun, and then you're stoned sitting there watching, and you're like,
anxiety.
I guess glass could fall in my spaghetti noodles, and I could eat glass, and I could shit it out, and I could bleed. It's not nice.
Does that happen in blood?
Probably.
Spoiler alert.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's Final Destination was the first time that they started that trope where it's usually in horror movies where a character's complaining, saying something dramatic. They go into from like a mid to a wide, and then something off frame just kind of takes them out, like a bus. They did the bus in the first Final, but then every movie did that after that. It was so shocking the first time. It was like 2000 or 99. I can't remember when the first one came out. We don't need to Google it. It doesn't matter. And every movie fucking did that afterwards. It's like, you know what, you guys can just leave me alone. Giant bird, whatever, pulls the person off frame, and it's like that was something that died so quickly.
Yeah. Well, but you can tell that the first one, as soon as you start watching, you can tell it was made before 9/11 because they all die in a plane crash. And that was my first thought.
He's probably got a point. I have to Google him.
I know it's I'm pretty sure it's before. It's pre 9/11.
99.
And it was after I watched Bloodlines. Me and my boyfriend were like, we should watch the first one just to see what it was like. And then plane crash.
There was is Bloodline the one that ends with them getting on that plane?
No, that's the fifth one.
Okay.
Yeah, the original was 2000.
Yeah, 2000.
They just made the cut. Same way. What year was Donnie Darko released? Because I watched Donnie Darko for the first time a couple weeks ago too.
2001.
They made the cut real quick.
Because all of these were getting filmed 99, 2000.
Yeah,
they knew.
They had to change it.
I said, we got to get these airplane flights out.
Damn it, Stanley Kubrick. You keep filming these things for the government.
Those were the trash takes from 9/11.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. That's bad.
That's terrible.
Guys, you guys make me bad.
No, you're evil, too. We're all evil here.
We're good people, I promise.
We are. I'm woke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The look he gave you.
Yeah. We're all, good, nice people, right? I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well.
So you have some questions here.
Oh, yeah. I got hold on. I get it. There we go.
I was curious one thing before we get into your movie.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you wrote any kind of like script or kind of short story, something you had like an idea that you wanted to film?
Yeah, I used to write fan fiction. No, I'm kidding.
Do it for real?
No.
JoJo's Big Adventure? Me too.
No. Yeah, probably in school. Having to write. My favorite were there was like narrative and expository, and I always preferred the narrative.
Me too.
For sure, because I could just write stories about me and my friends that never, like, we went to the circus and which never happened. But
Hey, you pet a tiger, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Chris and I have also been writing since we were kids, just like random shit and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I love.
What did you guys write? Because you just said we wrote, but what did you write?
Well, you go first, Chris. I'm embarrassed.
Well, I actually did go to school, for English literature, and so basically, I would write like short stories, more like flash fiction, poetry, stuff like that. But
Poetry.
yeah, I would do like essays about like literary devices or whatever weird stuff like that. But my thing was flash fiction. I liked
What's a
writing,
flash
quick.
fiction?
It's like an even shorter short story.
Cool.
So like maybe it would be like 3-4 pages.
Nice.
Like actual short stories of like the lady in behind the wallpaper.
Yeah, they're like 30 pages.
Exactly. And I write things for people with ADD.
I prefer
ADHD.
flash fiction, I think.
Yeah, me too. So
Yeah, I when I was a kid, it started like in elementary. I was a terrible student my entire life, and I was always doing like comic books. Like I draw panels and stuff like that. I did a lot of like when I was very young. I did a lot of kind of like a fan fiction type stuff when it was like fucking Star Wars or something like Dragon Ball Z stuff like that. But then as I got older, I'm like, well, I'm gonna make up my own stories, and it was still just like fucking. It was just like very pulpy stuff. I was obsessed with. The Powerpuff Girls. Still am obsessed with the Powerpuff Girls. And I've said this several times, and I'm going to say it now on the record. The Powerpuff Girls have the most efficient and the best kind of specifically superhero stories that are told in like 10, 11 minutes. Like it is literally the tightest fucking little stories.
I don't like you calling the Powerpuff Girls tight.
Sorry. That's not...
That's
is it the mustache or the ball? I'm curious for me. I was just curious. Sorry.
It's the raincoat.
It's the raincoat.
This man wearing galoshes on the table.
But I just felt like those cartoons from back in the day. There were cartoons is what it was called. It was a variety show. You remember this? Yeah. It was a variety show on Cartoon Network, and they would have these like. It was like an anthology type thing with all these random little cartoons, and the Powerpuff Girls was one of them. They had like Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, Cow and Chicken. Like they all kind of got their start from there. But
it's how they would test cartoons,
right?
Yeah,
exactly. And for me, for whatever reason, the Powerpuff Girls. So I was obsessed with that that format of just completely streamlining it, where like each character may just get a handful of lines because it's a short story, but in that line you have them move the plot forward while simultaneously reinforcing their identity, like who they are. And I was just obsessed with that. And I got as I got older, I was really into Joss Whedon, and now I don't talk about Joss Whedon anymore. All my heroes are terrible people.
John Lasseter, Joss Whedon,
Pee Wee Herman,
Harvey Weinstein.
Why do they all have these fuzzy beds?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the giveaway. But okay, I want to get into Fallen Fruit. I was so excited to hear that because I think I met you at Villain Theater doing improv, and I was just like, oh, this is the funny, kooky guy, and then I knew Carolina Caruso, and I was just like, they're fun people, and then I was like, wait, these motherfuckers are like filmmakers, and they made a whole ass movie, and the movie's coming out right now. And I was just so impressed with that, and I was glad. I'm gonna be very, very frank. I was glad that when I saw this film.
That it was good.
Yeah. Well, not just that. I was 2 minutes in. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I've seen films made by other friends and people, and of course I tell them, hey, it was a nice movie. But like, you get 2 seconds in, and you're like, oh, this whole thing was filmed on like a fucking iPhone or something like you just see that that lack of like awareness of filmmaking. And my absolute favorite thing, and I'm gonna say this sincerely. Was the cinematography. I thought like the cinematography was so fucking on point. To me, that is what separates, I just have a good script, let's film some stuff, versus like, no, this is a fucking film, and we're going to tell stories and moods and stuff through the fucking visuals.
Shout out to David Rodriguez, my cinematographer.
There you go. Yeah, David Rodriguez. Shout out, buddy.
Nice.
Great job, man. So yeah, I saw your film, and I really did like it. I love a good coming of age movie. And first off, I wrote just like my first note here on my notes is, his mom is telling him, hey, you need to just get over this fucking, you need to just get over this, like this guy that dumped you. And, it's been 2 weeks. And I'm like, Mom, I'm sitting there like, let him eat his picadillo all sad. Like, it's been 2 weeks. You can't just bounce back from a relationship in 2 weeks. I was like, what the fuck, dude? But I wanted to know how much of yourself is in this story.
Good question that no one's asked before. No, that's
Okay,
Sorry, that was mean. It's these. You guys gave me these simply spiked lemonades, and now I'm.
Give him another one.
We're about to slide him a third one.
Yeah, no, it's pretty accurate. I started writing the script in my early 20s. I'm 30 now, and I made the movie when I was 28, 27, 28.
Okay.
I started writing it in my early 20s just as like a diary once I broke up with the person that I broke up with, just to kind of like get out feelings. And then I would write it, throw it into a drive, throw it into a drive like every few months. And then when I was 20, whatever, I needed to make a movie. I was like, okay, well, I feel like I should make a feature film now. So I was, sifting through all the ideas that I had. And I'm like, okay, well, I would write this a lot back when I was younger, so I might as well, bring it out and see what is there. So I started rewriting everything kind of based on my personal experiences, and then as I wrote it and as I rewrote it and as we filmed it, it all kind of morphed into a different reality. I just found out the term auto-fiction, and I think that's what I'm sticking with.
Okay, yeah, it's like a little fiction, little auto
Yeah,
associate.
yeah. Well,
No, I think the movie felt very personal. I actually had no idea it was any. I mean, I just watched it and it was like oozing out of the film.
why did it feel personal? Because people tell me that all the time, but no one says why it feels.
Because you show in that film, Alex, the protagonist, is he feels a little pathetic in the beginning, and I mean that in the most.
We've all been
Right,
at that.
yeah,
right.
We've all been in that situation.
We think back to a time, especially when you're going through a breakup or heartbreak. You think back and like, oh, you cringe out of your fucking shoes. How like things you said and things you felt, and I think to me that kind of vulnerability is what makes it feel human.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what you were saying earlier was that you can tell when a movie is like you start a movie and you can tell that it's not bad, but it's just like not great. It's not like, leveled up. And I feel like it's not necessarily being filmed on an iPhone or being filmed on a shoe or whatever. It's like being filmed on bullshit. But like if the person is willing to put themselves out there and like be a true artist in that way, Yeah.
Another thing I want to interject, I feel the reason it also feels more personal, especially like to us, I think you represent Miami and like the city well. And like there's just certain things, like certain lingo they use or like certain things they'll talk about, and you're just like, yeah, like growing up here, that is a complaint I have. I'll be like, you know what? I do associate and I concur with it. So I think that also adds to the whole like, yeah, man, like I can see myself, or I know somebody who's gone through, oh, that was my friend like when I was 24, whatever,
Yeah.
And so I think that adds to that whole.
Yeah, a huge help for me was this book called Waterproof by O Miami. It's a collection of what would you call the super short stories?
Flash fiction.
It's a collection of flash fiction and poetry.
Nice.
Thanks. Of just about Miami, memorializing Miami the way that it is now. And that was a nice way for me to not just write from my own perspective, but also kind of gather other people's perspectives of these different places. It also helped me figure out like what places I should put into the book as well. Like Acey's Ices was one place that like I'd been, but I didn't think of as. I guess you don't think of these places as super Miami places because you see them all the time. But then when someone else points it out and you're like, oh yeah, I guess that is very specific. We all have a shared memory here.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves Palacio de Jugos.
Right.
But somebody in Detroit's probably like, what's a Palacio de Jugos?
I tell them it's the Cuban Stock Exchange.
Well, you can always tell who's from Miami when I'm screening somewhere else because Palacios will get a clap. Like if it's like Captain America catching Thor's hammer, it's like people see Palacio and like, yes.
Somebody just crying, missing a pastelito and some cafecito. They're just
imagining tongs going into lechon.
Just use your hands, please, ma'am. Just grab it with your hands. It's fine.
I love the depiction of not just Miami, but the depiction of a Hispanic family, and that's something that I've always joked about and made fun of. When I watch a movie, I saw. What the fuck was I watching recently? I think it was Captain America 4. Electric Boogaloo, whatever the fuck it was called. The one with the Red Hulk, right? I turned it off halfway through, and I just got annoyed because it's 2025 or whenever the fuck that movie came out, and the one Hispanic character is still depicted in this like Spanglish speaking in like the most cringe way. He's like, I told my roommate, I was like, he's gonna bring up his mother or grandmother's cooking. You could just fucking bet it, right? And it's just like, like, hi, man, how we doing? Man, you're crazy, hermano. It's just, and when you see it, it's just a bad example, but it's like you don't talk about how like Hispanic people are depicted in movies where it's playful, it's fun, but it's always just like, it's just not realistic. And for me, the scene where Alex is having dinner, there's multiple scenes where Alex is having dinner with his family, and just how, by the way, whoever you cast as the dad felt so real. Like that guy felt like
he's
that's
great.
That's someone's dad.
The mom
as
is
well.
Nikki Quintana. She was my high school drama teacher.
Really?
And then that's her real husband, Ozzy Quintana.
You can tell the chemistry. You can tell.
They felt people who were married.
And we saved so much money because they already had wedding bands.
You didn't have to go out and buy it.
And it made people like Mike feel that he would hug them.
Yeah.
Which is
that
what
was
he
the
wanted.
main thing. That was...
But they're like banter, like when I think like the first scene starts up with them sitting down, they're talking about like a TV show that they're like, oh, we gotta go watch this right after we're done eating. I don't know, it felt very kind of real because I've watched. I mean, you watch, and it seems like such a easy thing to depict, and it's not, as far as like it feeling genuine. And I personally love that about it, and that made Alex feel real.
Yeah.
That made everyone else feel real.
Well, what was cool is they're both trained improvisers, so they were like, I didn't write this stuff about like watching TV, and they mentioned Survivor and a telenovela. I could trust them to just like go off and come up with something that felt real. And I think that's where a lot of the realism comes from, is just like trusting that people will, like, as long as they know the emotional core of what they're shooting for, kind of just like giving them the leeway to try out different stuff.
They definitely had like good natural like cadence.
Well, they're married.
Yeah, so you can tell like the title was like, that feels as normal as it can get.
They're very familiar with each other.
I also liked the framing of the dining room shot a lot. The far one you would do.
Yeah.
It was every time it would go out, and then there was a one where it was like really dark, because I guess he was like sitting. But I liked the way it framed up. Every time it came on, I'm like, it looks so nice.
Yeah, it was one of those shots where you contrast it with like towards the end when he's in the house by himself, and he's sitting there eating by himself. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. That was on purpose.
Yeah, why didn't you guys interview me when it first came
He's not sitting with his family.
He's not sitting with his family anymore. It goes back together.
Everyone be sad. Okay, and then all right. So my question is, right off the bat, he starts using this analog camera.
Yeah.
Right, and I know you shot a music video with that camera, right? Is that
a sketch? Yeah, it's the same camera.
Yeah, I'm curious. Did you do that? Is that something that comes from your personal life? And like, how does that play? Like, what does that mean? I'm asking you. Explain it.
What does it all mean?
Yeah.
My first short films were all used. I was alone in Miami. Didn't have very many resources, so I just drew from like my family's home videos and re-edited things with that. I made a short where I went to Disney World by myself, and I kind of contrasted that with, being there with my family as a kid and those memories and whatever. So that was super big. And then, I would just shoot stuff on my iPhone all the time. I would just shoot things that looked cool, or like, memories that I liked. I was going through my Instagram archives the other day, and I found a shot of like the Miami skyline that was like exactly the same as the one that he takes at the end of the movie. Oh. So that was So that
he's like, how hard I worked to find that.
That sounded. How it intended.
So that was a cool little like connection that I had made. So yeah, just shooting stuff on my iPhone, and then. My boyfriend recognized that was kind of part of my whole thing, and then kind of tied the two together, and for my birthday bought me a VHS camera, so then I started shooting stuff on that. Thank you.
That's really nice.
Love is love.
Yeah, and Mike will know one day. It's okay.
Mike.
The fuck?
And when he goes to Twist again.
Yeah, the second time I go, I'll find it.
Or third.
Or third, who knows? So that kind of tied it all together for me. So in the movie, I kind of that's where the differences kind of start, where it's like, was I using a VHS camera? No, but was that kind of the concept of the things that I was doing? Yeah. The other thing is that like in my free time, when I was a kid, one of my favorite things was to just like watch these home videos over and over again, like relive my sister's 4th birthday or whatever. And that was another thing that I was trying to add, was this sort of like nostalgia for the way that Miami is right now, because we're all going to feel nostalgic for it one day. So I'd rather that start now and not kind of take what we have for granted.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like that whole sentiment, and I think now hearing you say that, yeah, it adds even more to, because I like those little camera moments. Just because, yeah, I used to, when we were young, I'm sure you too, used to mess around with them, and I'm sure there's some in my mom's closet. I'm probably gonna dig out now because I'm gonna get nostalgic. Thanks.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
When you take a photo or video of something that's happening in the present, I personally had like, I had this thing where like I was against taking photos, like when the smartphones were like really kind of everyone's having I was like I was a punk rock against that. And now I think back and I find a handful of photos from the last 10-15 years, and I'm like, holy shit, I should have taken more photos. Like,
yeah, I feel like
straight up.
it's always important. Like that's the other thing too, is everyone has their own sort of perspective when it comes to holding a camera. No one needs to be like an amazing cinematographer. They're just like viewing the world as they are and saving their memories in their pocket, and I think that's really awesome. So, and if that makes me an artist, then so be it.
During the process of the movie, were there any films you were using maybe as inspiration for any of like the cinematography or frames you were using?
There's a Godard movie called Masculine Feminine that I was looking at. I don't know much about the behind the scenes stuff, but it feels very cinema verite.
Okay.
And I think that was a sort of realism that I was going for. Call Me by Your Name is always on the list for everything. I feel like that's sort of my Bible at this point, is like going for different shots. There's a shot of him and his brother laying by the pool.
Yeah.
That was very much a Call Me by Your Name sort of inspired shot. And then there's this movie called Totally Fucked Up by Gregor Rocky. That is kind of about this guy. It's inspired by Masculine Feminine, about this guy kind of following his friends and in like early 90s LA, and they're all queer. And he's interviewing them, and there's a lot of talking head footage on VHS, and that was also pretty huge. And then there's also the things that I don't even realize are influences. Like as I was looking at Boyhood and Call Me by Your Name again, I realized that they both have handwritten titles, which is super small, but
shit,
that's kind of like, oh, okay, that's must have been where I got that from, and I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it has like a homemade home movies vibe to have that. I just want to like rattle off a couple of things on my notes here. I loved obviously the depiction of Miami. You had a whole sequence in Twist. How'd you get that? What did you walk in there and be like, I'm gonna film a movie? Shut up!
I just walked. Everyone, shut up! I'm filming.
Stop dancing.
No, it was what was great about making a movie that was so personal and felt very Miami was that when I explained that to people, they were super down to help and depict Miami the way that they feel Miami should be depicted. So there were a bunch of places that were down to help us shoot for a low cost.
Damn, Twist is fucking cool.
I was like, shout out to Twist for
shout out to
always
Twist.
giving it up for the community.
Was Carla Croqueta part of that?
What do you mean?
Carla Croqueta, she was in.
She what? But what do you mean part of like getting in with Twist?
Not in Twist specifically, but just getting her on camera. Like, was that like a night that she was there? Or
No. We shot during the day. We saw Twist with the lights on. It was
it's a sticky situation.
It's a sticky situation. It's not Churchill's sticky situation, but it's a sticky situation.
Churchill's a different sticky.
I knew I wanted a drag queen, and when I was trying to think of who was the most like Miami drag queen, I kept going back to Carla, and luckily she's a friend from going out so many times that when I called her up to do it, she was totally down.
That was like one of those moments where I'm like, if this is so specific to Miami. Like I knew who that drag queen was, like very famous local drag queen. And I love that. Let me see what else.
And Michael famously hates drag queens. He throws rocks at them often.
Her last name is Corcantha. There's something about it.
Actually, guys, hold on. I like this one.
I don't know what it is.
I have a couple notes here, random notes here that I wrote out of context. One quote says, "Friends suck each other's dicks." That was a great line.
Good quote.
That was a really good line. My favorite thing about that story is why are you looking at me and him?
No, I was trying to do. There's a clip of Azalea Banks. Someone says, "Oh, your fans are all gay fans, right?" And she goes, she has a bob on. She goes, "And
yeah."
So
My
I love it.
what I actually like, my favorite thing about that movie was story wise was finding out at the. I mean, I don't know.
my movie, that movie, my movie.
Your movie.
Okay.
Your movie.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Fallen Fruit.
Right.
2024 Fallen Fruit, directed by Chris Molina.
Right.
What I mean, we're going to talk about the ending, right? Does that?
Yeah. No.
We don't care, right? We can talk about the ending.
Yeah. You know.
Okay. My favorite thing was, and again, this is what makes it feel so personal, is that you have that little like mix up at the club where Alex is getting jealous that Chris is making out with somebody, right? And then I'm watching the movie and I'm going, the fuck? What the fuck's Chris doing? What the fuck's Chris's problem? You know, then they have the talk outside, and it's this huge kind of misunderstanding of what they were, and him just, and everyone being so accepting about that misunderstanding, because like that's happened to me and my friends. Well,
You guys?
Just like that. I told you not to make out with that guy.
and you get so embarrassed that it becomes kind of like really shitty. It becomes a really shitty situation. So I think showing that level of like misunderstanding, that's cringe to misunderstand that.
Yeah.
And I just love that was the part that's going to help, the way I took it, that's going to help that character heal and move on past that. I love that, because I was just kind of like, what's going to happen? He's going to everything he gets with Chris happily ever after. Is that it?
But the other thing was like, this guy's so starved for friendship.
Right.
So of course he's going to confuse another guy, you know, offering friendship, even if they make out, whatever, as you know, something more, which I think is just super common in like the gay world. I don't know about straight guys.
No, it's definitely straight guys.
Yeah,
they get a hug from a girl and they're like,
I love you. We're going to get married?
where my hug at?
yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I just to me that felt so human and honest, and I really like that resolution, or kind of as close as you can get to a resolution for that character.
It definitely shows the growth in it that helps you like be able to identify with it, because like you said, when he starts off, you're like, this guy's such a little fuckhead. Then by the end, you're kind of like, you just don't know, but
Yeah, he doesn't.
you're still learning. Yeah,
He's still cooking in the oven. You know?
We've all been that fuckhead,
Yeah, absolutely.
and some of us may still be that fuckhead.
A lot of us are still that
Who
fun.
knows?
Mike.
That's why I'm here today.
All right, I have. We're getting to the end here, but I want to ask one stupid question. Did your family leave you alone at the house during a hurricane?
No. No. Why would my parents do that?
It's been burning on his brain the whole time.
I don't know. I was gonna.
I
Be
could
like,
see the steam.
I'm not wearing my hat. You can see the steam come off the top of my head. Yeah, no, I was just like watching that, and I was just kind of like, man, that's like kind of fucked up. And I'm like, I'm gonna ask him, did that really happen?
Yeah, no. The real hurricane was Irma.
Okay.
Which, like, I was still with my family. We had to leave our house, but I was with my family. We were in Kendall, so it wasn't, you know, a big trek.
K-Town.
K-Town.
Like I hit that.
But yeah, it was sort of a way to just heighten the feelings of. It was also like, this guy's depending on everyone for everything the whole movie. I need him to go through the worst thing imaginable so he can finally kind of, you know, get through this feeling of needing everyone.
Because in life, that's kind of what happens when you have you have a traumatic thing happen to you, like a big breakup, and then even like in the course of the film, he kind of, it's implied, or I guess it's kind of confirmed, that he was cheated on and all that stuff. You have, and it's like, you have family, you have friends, you have a new guy, friend-ish, not friend, whatever, we're hooking up. And at the end of the day, you have to process all this shit by yourself. There's no one that can help. The people can be there for you, but you have to go through it by yourself. And I just thought that was a nice little. It was very indie film ending. It's like I'm in a storm, and then it goes black. And I was like, but I liked it. I sincerely liked it. I thought it was.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I thought it was. I thought it was great. Do you have? Are you working on any other projects?
Yeah. So my producer Caro is working on.
Shout out to Caro.
Shout out to Caro. Shout out to Victor, also another producer. But Caro is directing a short right now that I'm producing. So
I've read the script.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which, well, I guess we don't.
I'm not going to bring it up, but yeah, I read the script. I think it's a really fun idea.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited to be producing that this month or next month. And then I'm also trying to work out what I'm going to be doing next, working on some short films, working on some web series stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then always doing improv.
Always
improving.
Improv keeps you loose, man.
And I'm loose.
Hey, it does keep you loose. I try to preach the improv, the praises to some comedians, some stand-up comedians, where they feel like that it's not really that. And like, man, you don't really know until you start doing it. How much it helps you kind of stay on your toes and stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like it's especially important for people doing film too.
Everything. Yeah.
Because I mean, you're working with actors, that's huge. But then also, you always need to come up with new lines, new scenes, new whatever on the fly. So you might as well be skilled in that.
It keeps creativity on its toes, and that's kind of.
I was curious. Have you found that helping with like your creative writing?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been so focused on Fallen Fruit because we were distributing it ourselves. So focused on the business end of that I haven't really been writing. I've only just found myself writing again. But even in that, just like doing a first draft, kind of, I don't feel as afraid to just say whatever comes to mind and hope that it works, because I feel like with improv, you kind of just trust that it will end up working out however it goes. And if it doesn't work out, then you'll fix it. And at least with a script, I can rewrite it. So I can make it work in the next draft or the second, whatever draft. But let me at least get something on paper first and then go from there.
Nice. I like that.
That's the important part, is just get something down now, because editing is a lot easier than like coming from zero, from nothing. Any other genres you'd like to dip into?
I mean, Fallen Fruit wasn't supposed to be a comedy. I that wasn't my intention. But then as I was editing, I was like, oh, right, I made a comedy. I forgot. I didn't realize. So I would love to try to actually make a comedy. That would be fun. But I also just kind of love the idea of making a hangout movie is a pretty solid way of putting it. Like just a vibey sort of slice of life sort of thing. I think that's where I feel most comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Fallen Fruit 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. You read the script?
Yeah.
You got it.
Fallen Fruit Rises.
Christina always says Fallen Fruit 2, the fruitening.
Shout out to Christina Aguayo, the improviser.
It would look good on a t-shirt.
It would look so good.
I would wear that t-shirt. I would wear a Fallen Fruit t-shirt. So if you have one, let me have it. Okay, so this brings us kind of to the close here. Chris, as far as if someone wants to get a copy, someone wants to watch this, someone wants to watch you perform, how do we get access to you?
Oh, great question. Well, you can see me almost every week at Villain Theater doing improv. If you want to see me in person, maybe punch me in the face. I'm always there. As long as you pay for a ticket, you can do whatever you want to me. You can also find me on your local apps, Grindr, Sniffy, Scruff, whatever, what have you. I am also on Instagram at Chris Molina, ChrisMolina. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, we're working on the distribution for Fallen Fruit, and we're hoping to get on digital by the end of the year. So we're going to be starting a Kickstarter probably within the next couple of weeks to kind of raise enough money to make sure that we're able to get on iTunes and Amazon and all that stuff, so people can finally watch the movie. Because I think at the end of the day, my biggest goal with the movie was, I remember being a teenager and going on Netflix and going to the gay section and watching all that stuff.
Yeah,
it would be awesome if people could just like easily find a gay movie like mine and not feel so lost.
Completely.
That would be awesome. Yeah, if it comes available, definitely let us know so we can push it and let people
Thanks.
know where they can watch it.
Thanks.
So that concludes our show. This is Fallen Fruit. Thank you so much for joining me, Chris Molina. Thank you, Christian, for helping me. I've been your host, Michael Keneal. You can follow us at FadeInMC or just me at Michael Keneal on Instagram. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And good night.
Thank you, Chris Molina.
Thank you, Michael. Are you going to put your pants on now?
Yes.
Thank you.